You're watching Byline Wilmington on CBS 10 WILM. Here's your host, Don Ansell.
And we're back. Our guest this morning is Wayne Goodwin, newly elected North Carolina Insurance Commissioner. Wayne, we were talking about homeowners insurance, and I recently got a letter from my my underwriter for homeowners insurance, saying that my renewal rate increase is more than the increase that the Rate Bureau is supporting. And actually, I called the department, and we're going to give the number out in just a minute because I got some very good information. They were very cooperative and very pleasant. I have to commend the department on that. But can you explain how an insurance company there says that the rates that their own bargaining group says is fair, how they would go against that?
Well, there's any number of reasons why perhaps that has happened. Of course, when you have any board, like with the Rate Bureau board, individual members may have differing opinions on things, but when something happens where a consumer has a question or receives a letter that they think identifies a problem, we do ask folks to call the Department of Insurance, and we'll help get to the root of the problem. And if something is being done in violation of state law or an agreement.
I found out that was legal. And we're going to give the number for the department out in just a minute. It's an 800 number, and feel free to use it. It'll help anytime you have questions. So in homeowners insurance, underwriters are not required to, there is no rate that they're required to stay by? Or is there a parameter?
There's a the insurance commissioner sets the maximum rate that can be charged for a particular line of insurance. Now, obviously, if there's some sort of exception for whatever reason that a company says it's entitled to, everything has to go through the Department of Insurance. And but there's a maximum that's allowed to be charged, and normally it's whatever's below that maximum that you will see. But if there's an exception or some reason for a deviation from that, then I would encourage folks to call.
Well, wouldn't all carriers charge the max? Why wouldn't they?
Well, the reason they wouldn't is that they want to have a competitive edge. Just like when you go to a grocery store, all the stores don't charge the same for bananas. They want to have the best price for the bananas to help encourage more people
they're
to
competing
buy.
For business in North Carolina?
Yes, sir. They are.
Is that hold true on the coast?
To some degree. There's still a good number of companies that are writing, not as much as we'd like. And I think that's part of what the legislature is encouraged to do by all of us, is we want to help provide incentives for more companies to write on the coast so they can compete and then have lower rates for everybody, including on the coast.
How much impact has our history as a hurricane-prone coastal region had in the cost and scope of homeowners coverage?
From what has been filed with the department, it is a factor looking at what has occurred, but it's also, as I understand it from the experts, they look at what could occur, and that's what insurance is what risk there is. But it's very complex, and that is one of many factors that...
Is that why wind and hail has been sort of being phased out of general homeowners policies because of our hurricane, we're in a hurricane-prone area?
I can't really speak specifically on that because each company makes its own decisions on things, but the issue of catastrophe insurance is certainly a national and a regional issue. So you're going to see a lot of changes and potential reforms on this on the national and on the regional level. I'm asking other states to consider joining a pool so that will help keep rates low while also providing coverage for folks on the coast and across the region.
A pool for wind and hail?
Yes.
Which is sort of what the beach plan is.
Right now it's just in North Carolina.
Okay, so you want to expand it?
And the theory is, as I had shared last year as I was campaigning, and of course I'm open to any ideas that will help keep rates affordable, make sure that we have fair rates, and that one way to do that is if you have a broad enough pool, and then the theory is, as we've seen in other areas of the economy, broad enough pool of participants, then rates could be,
How far along have you gotten with that?
I've had conversations with the South Carolina commissioner. They call him a director of insurance there, and we're having an upcoming meeting for insurance commissioners for the southeastern United States in a couple of weeks, and I'll be conversing with them as well.
We've talked a lot about homeowners insurance. Let's talk about auto insurance for a moment. Those rates are determined by the department along with the rate bureau.
Yes, sir.
Is that right? And how do we compare with other states?
We compare very well, and Commissioner Long has done a tremendous job, and I want to continue that great job he's done. We have the lowest automobile insurance rates in the South, and the 6th or 8th lowest in the country, and that is something that all consumers and all drivers benefit from.
Do rates differ around the state, or is it one rate for the state?
Well, there's a maximum rate for
Okay.
the state, but there are variations and degrees among companies, and I guess that's not my decision. But
And that's a competitive edge, a competitive issue again?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
New Hanover County, I was chatting off camera with you, has been named the most dangerous place to drive in the state. Does that impact our rates?
Well, all factors I'm sure are considered by the actuaries that work for, whether it's for companies or for rate bureau or for the state. But what we do at the Department of Insurance, we set the maximum rate, and we want to make sure we have enough companies doing business here so that folks can get the very best rate for wherever you live based upon all those factors in one's area of the state. And again, we have the lowest in the South.
Another huge issue everywhere is the cost of health insurance. What's the department's role when it comes to that? Do you just approve companies that can do business in North Carolina? Or what are the parameters that your department's involved in?
Well, unlike homeowners and unlike auto, there are federal regulations and state regulations that limit the role of the insurance commissioner and the department on health insurance. But I have, as one of my changes, I have pledged to have a health insurance policy advisory council that will help in the goal of having more affordable, more accessible insurance for every North Carolinian. It's a different animal than auto and homeowners, but we do have some role in setting rates. But regardless of who has the role, our Consumer Services Division and our healthcare review, external review folks handle complaints if someone feels like they have had coverage denied inappropriately. So I do encourage folks to call the department. We will be there to help them on any health insurance complaints.
Yeah, I want to give out that number, by the way, and we'll show it on your screen. It's 1-800-546-5664. 1-800-546-5664. That's the North Carolina Department of Insurance. It's very easy to navigate. So I'd like to encourage folks, if you have questions or you feel that you've had some unfair treatment, to call the Department of Insurance. 1-800-546-5664. We have like 30 seconds left. It's very difficult to read insurance policies. Does the department, is there any way that they could be simplified so that the average person can really understand the scope of what they're buying?
That's one of the roles that we have, and I assure you we'll do everything we can to help make policies more user-friendly, just like our website at ncdoi.com. But if folks have complaints about insurance policies, they're being able to understand them, please call, and that is a function we have to try to make things simpler.
Help folks navigate through their policy?
Yes, sir.
Great. Wayne Goodwin, thank you so much for joining us this morning and for making the trip down from
Yes,
Raleigh.
sir.
That's going to do it for today. Join us next week for more of the people and the issues that are the fabric of the Lower Cape Fear. If you want to see Byline online, go to WILM-TV.com, WILM-TV.com. I'm Don Ansell. Have a great week.
You've been watching Byline Wilmington on CBS 10 WILM. Join us every Sunday morning at 11 as we explore the issues that concern you.